virus? The European virus. That's a new one, huh? That's Mr. Presidential fodder. Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, who's just been, sainted for his exemplary leadership during coronavirus, his daily briefings. I mean, I thought somebody edited that when I saw it last night. I thought, no. He's not openly, he's not trying to slide that in, is he? He's not just trying to sneak in a little jab at anybody who dares call the Chinese coronavirus or the Wuhan coronavirus the Wuhan coronavirus. He's decided it originated, I guess, in Europe. Can we hear that one more time, gang?
When we started this, yes, we have more cases than anyone else. Yes, we had this European virus attack us and nobody expected it. But we're not only going to change our trajectory, we're going to change the trajectory more dramatically than any place else in the nation.
Okay. European virus. Okay. Listen, isn't that racist against all of Europe? Isn't that bigoted towards them? What did they do? What did they do to deserve our bigotry? France and Italy, anywhere, Mediterranean. Well, let's call it the Mediterranean virus. Let's call it the German virus. You can't do that. It's just the coronavirus. Don't you dare call it the Spanish flu. What's wrong with you, you bigot? If the president gets frustrated at a reporter who's Asian, he hates Asians. Don't you get it? Don't you know how this works? That's the way this goes. They said it last night on CNN. He got into it yesterday in the Rose Garden, was upset with some of the questions and the way they were badgering him. So he did what any normal person would do, being, assaulted and badgered and pestered and harangued by a bunch of mask-wearing reporters in the Rose Garden. He walked out. Turned around and walked out, and they flipped out. How can he do that? How does he walk out of the press briefing? Well, he walks out because they're badgering him and trying to get into it and insisting that these reporters are rude to an extent that you wouldn't be allowed to talk that way in the office to your boss. You wouldn't. You'd lose your job. And they're sitting there day in, day out, and he was in no mood for it yesterday. He just decided, you know what? Not doing it. Not gonna. This one of the reporters was standing up from CNN. She's badgering him. You called on me. You called on me. He said, no, I didn't. I want somebody else. You called on me. He walked out. He said, that's good. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Goodbye. Good night. And because one of the reporters that he was dealing with and battling with is evidently Asian American, Brian Stelter over at CNN decided that Trump doesn't get the benefit of the doubt and he's definitely a racist. Check this out.
I think what we saw in that exchange with Li Zhejiang is something that has racial overtones. It is racist to look at an Asian American White House correspondent and say, ask China. This isn't happening in a vacuum. This is part of a pattern of behavior from the president that goes back many years. So he doesn't have the benefit of the doubt that someone might have if, for the first time ever in their life, they made a comment like that to a reporter. But the president has been rattled by Wei Zhejiang's questions in the past. He has treated her and other female reporters differently in the past. And he's also had this pattern of reacting to minority journalists in a very specific and different way, Wolf.
Turn it off. Turn it off. I can't stand it. I just can't stand it because I guess Jim Acosta and the Washington Post and the New York Times, all these white reporters that he's mixed it up with, he's not racist when he pushes back against the white reporters. But if he dares push back against a minority, well, he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt. He's a racist. Imagine CNN deciding just yesterday he stops getting the benefit of the doubt. Have they ever given him the benefit of the doubt? Can I ask you a political question before we dive into some of the data and stories and Obamagate? We are content rich again today. We haven't had a lack of content. Well, we never do, frankly, but certainly in the last few months, it's a matter of trying to squeeze it all in, and we are doing the best every day we can. And we welcome you to the ReliefFactor.com studios. We are at Tuesday, May the 12th, 2020. My question to you is: this stuff, this distraction, this nonsense gonna hurt him and Republicans in November? Or do you see Republicans sitting comfortably upon a pretty easy time on November 3rd? I'm just curious. I want to kind of take your temperature, take the mood, get an idea of where you're sitting intellectually, emotionally, because this is such a distraction and such garbage. I wonder if, and I think the American people are paying attention to it. So my question is, every poll shows Biden leading across the board. I saw a headline yesterday on Drudge. My gosh, what's happened to Drudge? But a Drudge headline that said that Biden's lead of 6% has stayed steadier than any presidential race since World War II. So, I also remember headlines that said there's a 91% likelihood that Hillary's going to win in 2016. But nonetheless, where do you see this politically with the way all of this goes? CNN screaming Trump is racist, Drudge taking him down, trying to assault him. He's fallen apart. He's baying at the moon. And meanwhile, he just seems to me to be leading very effectively. Let's see where you are with this. 1-800-655-MIKE. Portions of our show brought to you by our Angel Tree Prison Fellowship campaign. We got a long way to go. I'm going to need you. I'm going to tell you how you can help an at-risk child who is the son or daughter of a prisoner, somebody incarcerated in America, through our Christian ministry partners at Angel Tree. Please, please consider giving. I know it's a tough time, but Americans are tougher than a virus, and we step up. We step up. Where are you? What are your thoughts on this May 12th about what the election is going to look like in the middle of this whole mess